back to Toronto. Like I
Thank
say,
you.
it would not be a festival without Julianne Moore here, so it's great to have you.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Wow. Where do I even start with this movie? It is so fantastic. I so loved it.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, it made me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that when you first read it?
It's tricky stuff, you know. It's really, really tricky, very intimate stuff. But I felt that if it was going to be in anybody's hands, Adam was the right person to handle it because he's not. There's nothing sensationalistic or prurient about Adam's work. You know, his work is so much about behavior and relationships and identity and who we are in any given circumstance and how we relate to each other. So I felt like that. You know, I understood what kind of movie he was going to make.
Yeah, wonderful performances in this, all across the board. All of you were so wonderful. But, I have to ask you about working with Amanda because it's such an intense relationship between the two of you. And here she is, this 23-year-old who, just came off Mamma Mia and then, whoa, dives into something like this. How did you become at ease with her and help her through it?
It was pretty clear that she was going to be comfortable with it right from the beginning. I mean, we had a very informal read-through, and you can kind of, read-throughs are always make you a little bit nervous because it sort of can set the tone for a movie. You can see where people are comfortable and where they aren't. And she was very, very present and very alive and sure of what she was doing. I didn't have to help her along at all. I mean, it was never a matter of that. She was my, she's my peer, and it was a matter of having a partner in all of that stuff. And for me, I felt really lucky because the scenes are about talking to each other. All of them actually, and the relationship I have with her is actually the kind of the most frank relationship in the film. We actually we're oddly connecting in its way.
Well, we don't often get to see you as vulnerable as this. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was hard. It was the movie was hard because it was so nuanced. So you always felt like there was further you could go. And you never, you didn't always know if that was if you were setting the right tone or what was going on, and because often the way we communicate is about what we don't say, not what we do say.
Yeah, and well, as you say, I mean, all your scenes with her are talking, but there is a touching scene there. That's, a first for you too, I think. With a woman.
Well, has it?
Well,
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Let me think.
Few
okay.
Goes,
So mostly with but with guys mostly.
Guys, no problem.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that. Like I say, uncomfortable.
Right.
But
yeah.
beautiful scene, but getting through stuff like that, it can't be easy. You got a crew watching you.
It's never easy. That stuff is never easy. Well, I think what helped was how present Amanda was, and how. I think both of us sort of were like, okay, here we go, let's do this. The crew was very respectful. Adam is always respectful and careful, and we just sort of do it.
Yeah. Working with Liam Neeson, oh my gosh, you guys had really wonderful chemistry, even when it's like you don't know, you're at odds.
Yeah.
Working with that man must have been wonderful.
He was wonderful, and I think the one thing that we felt very pleased about when we saw the film was that we really seemed like a married couple with a real history, and that's important. I mean, this movie is also very much about what it is to be in a long-term relationship. What happens to people, where they, what happens to the nature of intimacy and how they communicate, and it can be, it's so interesting because everyone feels it should be so easy, and yet you realize if you've been with somebody for any length of time, there's also an extraordinary amount of mystery. You never really know what the other person is thinking or who they are, even after, this is supposed to be after, 20 years or something. They're like, wait a minute, I don't know if I know you anymore.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too because as you think you grow older with somebody, I mean, I've been married 21 years as well, right? But you think that you should trust the person more, and it's funny, you've been in a film called Trust the Man,
Yeah.
And this is just, it came to mind for me because you start thinking, maybe you trust them less than you did when you first knew them?
Or it's about the stories that you tell yourself. You think, okay, I'm getting a funny, what's interesting to me is that she's getting this sensation that something's wrong. And instead of kind of turning to her marriage to figure out what's happening, she can't quite, she's sort of, I think it's such a personal rejection too when she feels that he's turned away from her. It's like she can't turn toward him, she has to turn away from him to figure out what's going on. you know, it's complicated.
And as a mom yourself, playing a mother to this teenage boy, your kids are getting older too.
Right.
Isn't it great what you have to look forward to, Julie?
That's what they say. I don't have teenagers yet. My oldest is 11, so we're sort of heading into that. But that's the other, this is a woman who feels like she's losing her husband and she feels like she's losing her child. Everyone's moving away from her. So who she thought she was in this family doesn't seem to exist. So she's kind of trying to find some kind of a balance in there.
Yeah. You're also in A Single Man, also at the Toronto Film Festival.
That's
and
right.
Great news yesterday that your co-star Colin Firth got Best Actor for this.
It was really exciting and really well deserved. He's wonderful in the movie, and it's just it's so nice to see that happen for somebody who so deserves it.
How did you like working with Tom Ford as a director?
He was great. He was really great. He was incredibly meticulous, very, very prepared. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he enjoyed every single second of it too. I mean, the set was just fun, thoroughly fun. I was only there. I had a very brief kind of period, and I think it was fun for Colin too because he had a lot of sort of very dark stuff, and then when I show up, we sort of have it like a little party. So for those few days in the set, it was like a little party.
And did Tom do all the clothing for it too?
No, Ariane Phillips was a designer for the movie, but Tom, of course, was involved in every decision. Yeah.
How cool is that?
It was great.
And then I saw Pippa Lee as well. And
Yeah.
Wow, another great role.
Thank you. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I haven't.
fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, good.
And I think he was, a little butchy too.
Thank you. My mullet. Yeah.
The mullet was a
And the shorts.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. It was good,
I wore an outfit like that in junior high, I think.
I can see it, and I could actually pull it off. Like Blake Lively in that.
Oh, she's adorable. Yeah. What a nice girl. I mean, what a really, really nice girl she is. And I love working with her. She's very alive and
it's
really terrific.
It's a good film. It really makes me think Rebecca Miller, man. Like, boy, her dad has given her good genes. I can tell you that much. Now I'm doing a little piece on keeping green in the environment, and what do you and your family do to help kind of keep green?
We do the best we can. We kind of do what everybody does. We try to use, but we try not to use paper napkins. We have cloth napkins. We recycle things. You turn off the water. Our kids are very good, of course, about turning off the water and turning off the lights and reusing things and maybe not shopping as much as you feel like you need to do. Wearing clothes for long. All that kind of stuff. But we're doing what everybody else is, really.
Yeah, every little bit helps. It seems to me like, especially the 3 films that you're in this festival alone, there's such different roles.
Yeah.
You're so lucky that you're able to, get these scripts that come to you and be so versatile. Is there something still that do you want to go back and do the stage maybe again or something different?
It's difficult when you have children, actually. Broadway was a great experience, but it really knocks you out of your kid's life in a way that I hadn't expected. So if I did do a play again, it would have to be a much shorter run. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Like I said, fantastic and everything. And this, I don't know, best Oscar actress. I don't know. I kind of see you picking out a nice dress for that.
That's
right
very
away.
nice. Thank you.
You're
You're very
kind.
kind.
To talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
You too.